Welcome to this upper and lower body Yin Yoga class. Today you'll embark on a deep and beautiful journey of self-awareness and healing. This practice is designed to release tension, blockages and trauma stored in your body, helping you find a sense of peace and relief. As you settle into each pose, you'll learn to acknowledge and process your emotions, gaining a profound understanding of your body's needs. This class will leave you feeling rejuvenated and renewed, as if you've shed layers of stress and rediscovered a new sense of well-being. When you're ready, join me for this transformative experience as I support you every step of the way. Okay, so today we're going to start at the back of the mat. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stretch our feet. This is something that we seldom do. But there's so many muscles in our feet, and we use our feet a lot every time we walk, we dance, we hike, we do any kind of activity, but yet we never really stretch them. So let's just take a moment to say thank you to our feet for all the hard work they do every day. You can just open your palms up, allowing the energy to flow in through the palms of your hands and then into your body. And if you find the stretch a bit too much, then you're welcome to just bring your hands down, maybe on your fingertips, and just slowly just put a little bit of pressure, and you will still feel the stretch, but it's not going to be as intense as if you're in the full thunderbolt pose. If you are doing the modified version of just coming a little bit forward, then just don't worry about the palms of your hands, obviously, because you need to have your hands free just to hold yourself up. You might close your eyes, whichever variation you're doing, just close your eyes here, just for a few breaths. We're not going to stay here long. This is not a full yin pose. Just a few more breaths. Last one, big inhale, and on the exhale we're just going to let go, and we're going to come on the top of our feet, just like this. Now, if some of you have a very deep arch, you can always just roll up a blanket or place a thin blanket or towel in between the mat and your ankle. If you want to take the stretch further, you're welcome to just begin to roll yourself back and forwards. And this is a very, very deep stretch for the ankles. Again, a part of the body that we don't often stretch. So you don't have to do big movements, as long as you just lift the legs just a little bit off the mat, even if it's just a tiny bit like this. As long as you feel the stretch, that's all we're looking for. And breathe through it. Something very important about yin is our breath, about yoga in general, but yin especially, is to really breathe deeply. Just 2 more. Nice. Then from here, we're just going to walk our hands to a tabletop position. So making sure that the hips are in line with the knees. And from here, we're just going to walk the hands forward into a puppy pose. And some of you may just be comfortable staying here. If you're doing this in your home and you have props available, you're welcome to bring a cushion, pillow, or even yoga blocks. You can to rest your head on, or just to allow your chest to fall on top of your pillows. However, if your flexibility is pretty good, you can always just bring your forehead all the way down. But in order to achieve, so the goal of this pose is not necessarily to bring your head down. The goal of this pose is just to make sure that our back is straight and our arms are extended. And just like this, we can already feel a nice stretch in the arms, in the back, in the spine, in the upper body. This is a very good pose as well. If you're sitting a lot, spend a lot of time sitting and crouching over a desk, whereas here we're actually countering that pose by opening the shoulders, we're opening the back. So this is our first yin pose for today. So I'd like you to just find your comfort, wherever that may be, and just relax into the pose. Don't think too much about what it looks like. Should you be like this? Should your hand be there? Just do what feels good. Just find your comfort. As long as you're feeling the stretch, that's all we want. A straight back, and remember to just keep your your hips in line with the knees. I always invite people during a yin pose to bring awareness to their breath. So become aware of how you breathe, to the rhythm of your breath, to the length of your breath, to each inhale and each exhale. And with every exhale, see if you can relax and let go. And allow that chest to fall even closer to the mat. All right, last breath. And on the exhalation, we're slowly going to come up, walking the hands back into that tabletop position. We're going to do thread the needle. So for thread the needle, I'd like you to open up, extend the arms all the way up to the sky. And then as you exhale, you're going to thread that arm through, bringing your shoulder all the way down. And then extending the right arm all the way forward. Very nice. We're just going to release, come back to center. Now we're just going to walk those hands again to the very front of the mat. We're going to extend the left arm out to the side, so that's the arm that we threaded before. With the right hand, we're going to just place it right by our chest. Going to roll onto one side. And then bring the top leg and just bring the toes behind you, just like this. And allow your head to rest on the mat. Now again, if you prefer to have your head a little bit higher up, just because you maybe feel a bit discomfort in the cervicals, you can always just place a pillow or a yoga block, whatever you have at hand, just to rest your head on. And whenever we're doing yin poses, some of us may feel emotions that arise, like frustration or anger, mainly because we can't manage to find comfort within the discomfort. And other times it's also because we keep a lot of negativity and a lot of emotions in our body. And when we do poses like yin, sometimes that energy comes out, that negativity and those emotions just come out in different ways for different people. So whatever it is that you may be feeling or that may arise, just don't suppress it. Just invite it to come up. Become the observer of what you feel right now, whether it's physical discomfort or mental. Don't judge it. Just a couple more breaths. All right, when you're ready on the exhalation, we're just slowly going to bring the body back to center, so stacking the legs one on top of the other, and then rolling onto our bellies. And you're going to feel that left arm a little bit stiff, and that's quite normal. So we're just going to bring it, just give yourself a little shoulder roll just to release a little bit of the stiffness. But if this is the first time you're doing yin, just know that it is quite normal. Okay, so we're just going to thread the needle on the other side. So come back into a tabletop position. Going to inhale, open, extend that arm up. Exhale, thread it through, bringing that shoulder all the way down, and then extending the opposite arm to the very top of the mat. So, one of the most important, most difficult aspects of Yin Yoga is to find that stillness, is to actually not move for those 2 minutes or 3 minutes or however long it is that you're in that pose. One of the tricks to start with, if you're still a beginner, is to count your breath, is to really become observant of your breath, to focus on your breath. It is normal that your thoughts are going to come and go. That's just our monkey mind. It just can never relax. But as long as you don't attach to your thoughts, and every time you find that your mind is wandering about, just come back to your your breath. You can count your breath, like I said. You can count how many breaths you take, or you can count how long each breath is. Okay, last inhale, big inhale in, fill up your lungs with oxygen. And as you exhale, we're just going to bring that extended arm back in, lift yourself up into tabletop position, and then come forward onto the belly. And this time we're going to extend the right arm out to the side, left palm right by your chest. And we're just going to push the hand and roll ourselves onto one side. And then from here, the top leg just bends and place the foot behind you. You're going to feel a deep stretch in that extended arm. And remember, if you don't feel comfortable with your head on the mat, you can always place your pillow, blanket, whatever you have at hand, even if it's a jumper, and just rest your head on it. And close your eyes and become aware of the present moment. Maybe if this is the first time you're doing Yin, ask yourself, why did you decide to do a Yin class? What do you expect from it? What's your expectation? And if you're not new to Yin, it's always good then to become a little explorer and feel, how do we actually feel right now? What am I feeling? What am I feeling emotionally? What am I feeling physically? And if you feel pain, you can always come out of a pose, or you can always modify by coming higher up, for example, by using props under your head, or by maybe just bringing the leg down if it's too much to open the hips for you. There's always ways of modifying, and we're all different, so all I can do is really give you a guidance, but it's really down to you. You know your body best, so you'll be able to know, okay, I need a pillow, or I need to come higher up. Final breath. And then on the exhalation, let's gently roll back onto the belly. Nice. Give the shoulders a little bit of a roll again, one way and the other way. And from here, we're just going to press the hands into the mat. We're just going to lift up slightly. Going to feel a bit of a tension in the lower spine, and exhale. Bring your forehead all the way down. One more time. Inhale, press those hands in. Exhale. Lower down. Very nice. Now from here, we're just going to come as high up as is comfortable for you, and just bring your hands further away. Just coming up into we've got different variations. You can come into a seal pose, which is this, or if you prefer, you can come into a sphinx like this, or if this is not quite for you, then you can just stay and just lift the chest off the mat like this. This is not a Yin pose, so we're not going to stay here long, but we're just doing this to strengthen and lubricate the spine, actually. Just a couple more breaths, so wherever you are. And then from here, we're going to release into our counter pose, child pose. So bring your hands right by your chest if they're not already there. And we're just going to push back and release into a child pose. If you want, another option is to also open the knees wider than the hips, giving more space for the chest to come down. You can keep your forearms on the mat, or you can extend the arms all the way out, just bring your forehead to the mat. Okay, my friends, let's slowly come out of this pose, and we're just going to come to the center of our mat. So we're going to come into a log pose. So log pose is, we have the bottom leg is parallel to the mat. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring the other leg on top. So basically we're stacking the lower legs together just like logs. Now some of you may have the knee up here, and that's fine. We will have a different level of flexibility in the hips. So what you can do is you can just sit upright, and just slightly push your knee down without putting any pressure. Do not put your hand on the knee, but just above the knee. For those of you who can actually bring the knee all the way down, you can stay right here. And the last option, if you feel comfortable with it, is you can just begin to walk your hands forward. Now, both glutes remain seated, so the glutes do not lift. And you're going to feel a very deep stretch in the right glute. But again, different people feel different things, so you may feel it in the hamstrings, or you may feel it more in the knee. Wherever it is that you're feeling it, just become aware of it. And again, come back to your breath. Okay, last breath, my friends. And on your exhale, we're just going to come back to center. Bring your hands behind you. It makes it a little bit easier to uncross the legs. Just windshield wipe the legs a little bit. It's going to be a nice release from the glutes and the hips. And then we're just going to repeat on the other side. So this time the right leg comes down parallel to the mat, so your shin is parallel to the mat. We stack the other leg on top, and I said if your knee is up here, that's perfectly fine. You're just gonna slowly start to push it down. It will eventually release with time and practice. But if you can, then you can just walk your hands forward, and you may feel that one side is stiffer or tighter than the other, and that's normal. There's always one side of us which is looser than the other side. Usually it tends to be the dominant side is tighter, but it's not always the case. Okay, let's come out. So we're just gonna turn around, facing the lengthwise of the mat. We're just gonna come into our last post today. So we're gonna come all the way down, bringing your soles of your feet together, allowing your legs to fully open out. It doesn't matter again if your legs are up here. You can always put lots of cushions or blankets or whatever, just to allow to support your hip, well, your legs better. But if you can fully open them, then go ahead and do so. You can place your hands on your thighs and maybe just in the crease of your hip and just push a little bit. And by doing so, what we're doing is we're actually decompressing or decontracting the vertebrae from the pelvis. So we're giving more space in the vertebrae. Just breathe in. And again, for those of you who need a little extra support for the neck, you can just use anything that you have at hand just to make yourself that extra little bit more comfortable. Yin is already, can be quite uncomfortable sometimes, so we don't want it to be too bad. We do want to be able to enjoy it. And then when you're ready, you can just let go and just relax, palms facing up. And just feel how is your body doing right now compared to the start of the class. How do you feel? Do you feel a little bit more relaxed, looser? And really don't worry about if your mind has been bringing thoughts and you haven't been able to fully relax. It's okay. We've all been there. It's really hard to still the mind. The important thing is that you're on your mat, you're right here. You've done this class. You've breathed. You stretched your body. And now we're just going to close the knees, bring the knees together. We're going to roll onto the left side into a fetal position. Just giving ourselves here a couple of seconds, just like this. And then when you're ready, just come up into a seated position of your choice. You don't have to copy me. You don't even have to cross your legs. Let's just finish our practice together. Let's take a big breath in, arms up, shoulders down, away from the ears, palms together. Stretch that body, bring your head back. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. One more time. Big inhale, take your time. Feel that energy going through your fingers, through your hands. Bring your head back. Feel the stretch. Palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. And bowing down to ourselves. Thanking you so much for joining me today. I hope you feel a little bit looser, a little bit happier. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.